Okay, so down here at the bottom left-hand corner, we have our orange Protoss player. That is Cruncher. I guess we can call him Complexity. He is officially off of Complexity, but he's still using the tag Cole there. I suppose he doesn't want to change his name for obvious reasons. His opponent at the top right-hand corner, though, wearing the blue trunks, is Complexity's Minigun. He's our blue Protoss player. I'm going to take a quick moment, guys, to let you know of some upcoming programs that we're doing. On Thursdays now, we're actually starting back Team Arena. It is going to be Slayers versus Acer this week. Slayers is, of course, on top and has accumulated a couple $100 bounty now. And then on Friday, we're actually launching Community Spotlight Day once again, where we're going to have an hour of games that come directly from the community. We want your best and worst replays. We'll have more instructions on our Facebook at facebook.com/IGN Pro League soon. We're also going to be highlighting the best CSL games of the week from there. And also, we want to let you guys know that on Saturday we're launching our show match series, which we're calling IPL Fight Club. And
is that determined now?
Yes, it is. We're going with IPL Fight Club, where we're going to have White Raw and Chef kick it off for $500 in prizes, a best of 9, starting on this Saturday at 5 p.m.
And Fight Club is actually copyrighted by the company that quote-unquote owns us.
Well, yeah, they made the movie, yes.
Right. Well, that's perfect, man. I think that's a great name. What was the other names up for runner-up? We had IPL, what was the one that Josh you wanted to do?
Well, let's see. Oh, I think you want to call it Battlegasm.
Battlegasm. That would have been really funny. I would have liked Battlegasm. But I think Fight Club is definitely the one that's going to be... It's going to stick around. It's professional. Yeah. Battlegasm, I think it's funny, but I don't know how professional it is.
So there we go, guys. So a new show match starting every Saturday. I believe we have Slayers Ryung queued up to play the winner of this week's match as well. So multiple players from Slayers, Liquid, EG, and some independents like White Raw have actually decided that they want to play. So, okay, jumping back into things now. I don't see any discernible difference. It looks like Minigun decided to go for a little bit later gate once again, as he was trying to get up those early. Oh, there's a telltale Cruncher sign right there. Stealing his opponent's gas. Cruncher loves doing that.
Yeah, well, the thing about stealing gas as Protoss is it really is the cheapest gas stealing race per se, because you don't have to spend time like an SCV or use a drone or anything like that. You can just steal it for a pretty cheap rate. And what it does is it forces the enemy Protoss into a build where they're limited by only a single gas. And honestly, with the small map here and the way PvP plays out on this map, it wouldn't be surprised to see Minigun now forced into a route that is basically 4-gate. And we'll have to see if Cruncher is going to go with a 4-gate of his own.
Well, he does have his second gas, so he can decide to tech up just a little bit. Now, with the Immortal change, you do see a lot more 2-gate Robo or even 1-gate Robo, possibly expand build, something like that, as few Protoss players are taking a little bit bigger risk at getting out there and throwing down some expansions. But we're just going to have to wait and see. Minigun certainly wasn't expecting the setback. He was going for an economic build, delaying his gates a couple of supply just so we can get out a couple extra probes. And so there we have it. Cruncher already with gateway number 2. Has not chrono boosted these gateway units yet, but still don't really have an indication as to what he'll be following this up with.
Well, we saw the same exact build on Tal'Darim Altar from Cruncher, and he actually went into 3-gate Robo. And the reason why he was saving up his chrono boost was he was chrono boosting the Stalkers, and then he got his Immortals out. Now, this time he is dropping a chrono boost on the Cybernetics core, so it looks like he is going to go ahead and go right into the same build again, this time 2 gates before Robo. We may see a third one added on fairly soon, but Cruncher's certainly going to switch up the build a little bit, and with the gas still that he got, just delaying that second gas from Minigun's not going to have a robotics facility nearly as quickly as Cruncher will.
And Minigun does snipe a unit in the middle of the map. Looks like it was just a probe, but we have another one sitting around the 12 o'clock position as well. It's going to try and get a nice delayed scout, and will actually pick up on the 3-gate Robo.
Both players going for 3-gate Robo, it looks like. Interesting.
And wait, let's see, does Cruncher have a 3rd gate up? Let's see here. Can we check? No, I'm sorry, that's Minigun. Can we check Cruncher here? Okay, it looks like he's only on 2-gate Robo for now, so going to dump that extra resources.
Oh, he might lose a sentry.
Came actually pretty close. Not enough energy to put up another force field, but he does have... Oh, man! Minigun had his opportunity to move up and do his damage, but now he actually gets a unit trapped, and Cruncher has killed a Stalker and now a Zealot, basically for free, and it looks like he's going to get a pylon kill at the bottom of the ramp.
Well, he's actually going to be building a pylon inside of Minigun's main here, so he's going to be pretty sneaky-deaky here, and let's see what he decides to warp in. I would imagine a couple of Zealots going to run him right into the mineral line. He may wait for... he doesn't actually have vision of the pylon, so he can't wait for a cycle to complete. but he's just going to go ahead and warp into Zealots. The rally point already set right into the minerals. Twilight Council now coming up for Minigun. Will Minigun be prepared for this? Yes, he will. Luckily for him, his cycles were ready. He warps in 3 Stalkers built to actually prevent the Zealot from come in as well. So great defense from Minigun.
Yeah, wow, actually not losing a unit there at all. He chases off the second Zealot. Those Stalkers are being sent down to the bottom right just so they can take on that pylon. In addition to that, looks like he has good map control, so Minigun playing this pretty well. Now, losing that Stalker and Zealot early certainly does hurt him moving forward, but he's got a pretty good basis to just pump a lot of units here.
I think even though he lost that early Zealot in here or there, he actually kind of came back by denying this harass here and killing off the pylon, that probe, a couple of Zealots, and he remember, guys, he still has that tech advantage. He went right into Twilight Council. He immediately chrono boosted the blink technology, and Cruncher, he's still operating off of, okay, so he added one more gate, but he doesn't quite have that Twilight Council. Instead, going to go for Robotics Facility.
Yeah, so we have RoboBay coming up now, so he is going to have a nice Colossus undertaking here, and it looks like Minigun is going after a the Blink Stalker with Observer for vision, so he's just going to try and bypass the defenses of Cruncher. Knows he has pretty high sentry composition. Now, if you guys were wondering what all this is for, these come from the multiplayer qualifiers. So what happened was we had a tournament over the weekend. It was $5 to play, and the top 2 winners from that actually get free airfare to the UK, where they will be competing in the I-44 run by Multiplayer. It's a $20,000 StarCraft tournament in which the person who gets first place not only wins their share of the $20,000 prize pool, but they also get a trip and a seed to IPL 4, which we'll be announcing, of course, at a later date.
Well, it looks like Minigun now is pushing out across the middle of the map. His Observer is ready. His Blink is about to finish on time as well. And it looks like he's going to go for a very aggressive Blink right into the main of Cruncher. Cruncher does have 2 Immortals waiting here. His sentries are going to be pretty much worthless despite the, aside from the little DPS and the Force Fields and the Guardian Shield they will be able to throw down. But Minigun looking to circumvent that by blinking right into the main right now. Cruncher is trying to get a Colossus out. That could be the turning difference. But the Stalkers are about ready to blink in. No, there's another Observer for Cruncher. And actually, that may be enough to prevent Minigun from getting sight on the high ground. We'll just have to see. It looks like he's not going to go for it.
No,
I don't know.
It'd be a little rough right now. He needs to get there with those Zealots as well, but he does see... Oh, wow, the Observer might get picked off. I'm sorry. Take a look at that. Oh, nice blink from Minigun, though, to save that unit. So the Observer will regain its health, and it looks like old Minigun is just going to go to an expand build. He needs to be able to do something to counter those Colossi, though, and it looks like his method is just adding 2 more gates.
Well, I like the expansion idea right here from Minigun because he's scouted the Colossus, and he knows that he has more Stalkers on the field right now. He has more mobility on the field, especially with Blink. I think this is an opportunity where Minigun can expand and expand safely, simply because he has that mobility of Stalkers. He has a more aggressive force. Cruncher, if he moves out into the middle of the field with this Colossus, he could very well find his Colossus picked off where it's not protected up on the ramp in the main.
Yeah, but we do have a second Colossus being added in now, and Minigun, while he will have that 2 base economy, above a little bit of an engagement down at the bottom, and it looks like Cruncher. Now, Cruncher does have the much larger army at this time. He can effectively move in and kill most of these Stalkers. Oh, there's the Blink, though! Gets out ahead of the rest of his units, and 1 Colossus goes down at the cost of just 2 Stalkers. The Observer did fall, mind you, but 2 Stalkers for a Colossus, he'll trade that any day.
Well, from Cruncher's point of view, he really needed to press out. I mean, I believe his Observer saw the Nexus. Yes, it did. Excuse me. So Cruncher knows that he is behind an economy. He needs to make a push out right now, as his second Colossus did come out, although it did fall. And I like what he's doing right now. He's pushing out across the map. The question is he pushing out just to feign aggression and drop into a Nexus of his own? Or is he actually going to gear up to push out and try to do some damage at the front door?
I don't know. He has a read on the timing, right? You can look at his vision real quick.
Looks like he is going to be aggressive, man.
Oh, all right. So he needs something to put down a couple of the forward pylons, it appears, but he knows exactly how long Minigun has had this expansion up for, so he knows Minigun is going to pull significantly far ahead in supply very, very soon. The
question is, does he have enough forces to break it? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I think his army actually looks pretty small right now. Now, it really questions whether or not he's going to be able to get the pylon up. If he can, he'll be able to warp in units right away, but no, he leaves the pylon after he warps it. Free.
Didn't cancel, yeah.
Trick or treat, free pylon for me. Okay, so Minigun's going to be pretty happy with killing that off. A second pylon now coming up. Let's hope Cruncher does a better job protecting this one than he did the first one.
And there's Minigun pulling back with those Stalkers. He has a nice defensive concave setup, though, with all of his units. A lot of 4 Immortals there. I mean, that's actually pretty ridiculous.
Oh no, did an observer just go down? I'm not quite sure what he was shooting
Cruncher's
at.
observer just went down.
Okay, so one more observer just went down, but Cruncher is gearing up for a very offensive push. He's not expanding. He's warping in a lot of units. He's going to just hope to overpower Minigun right here, but really the longer he waits, the further behind he falls because of that second Nexus. Now, I don't like this position for Cruncher. Minigun getting a really good engagement here as Immortals not quite getting up close to hit the Colossus nor the Stalkers, but we'll have to see if Minigun's going to be aggressive. He is going to blink those Stalkers right in there, focusing down the first Colossus. The second Colossus is going to fall as well, and only one Colossus remains, but it looks like Cruncher's reinforcements coming just in the nick of time from that pylon, and he will be able to push the Immortals back.
Yeah, Cruncher's reinforcements coming in, but Minigun's actually going to... He has a much more recoverable position because he can spam out so many units as an economy is just so good right now. Looks like Cruncher is going to push back this first wave, but I still believe that Minigun has the upper hand here. He's going to be able to warp in a lot of units. He can even waste a couple of workers if he needs to because he has such a significant economic advantage.
Yeah, that's the thing right here. Cruncher, his onus is to kill the Nexus right now. Otherwise, he's going to fall desperately behind. He has to make something happen. And, you know, the longer he kind of pokes in and falls back, that second Nexus, the probes are well, the probes aren't actually mining. Okay, so Minigun here not utilizing the full advantage of having that fast expansion could bite him in the butt if he doesn't get those probes to work. And right now, Cruncher pushing in. I actually feel like Cruncher, if he gets offensive right now, if he gets his gear in gear, he can do a lot of damage.
He's just waffling back and forth
Yeah,
as to
I
whether
don't
or
like
not
that.
he wants to move. And I mean, if we take a look, Minigun's almost caught back up in supply once again. Oh, he's pulled out of position there.
Oh my god, he's going up the ramp. He has a lot of sentries here too, Kevin. He can perma-field that ramp, and it looks like that's exactly what he's going to do. However, the Stalkers can blink up the ramp if they want to. And he has vision. He's just going to go down south.
Yeah, all right. So we have maybe a bit of a base trade. We'll see if Minigun pulls any of his units back. He's actually taking quite a bit of damage, but there are already Stalkers for Minigun inside of Cruncher's base as well, actually doing quite a bit of damage.
He's trying to build a forge right now. Not quite sure why. He should probably cancel that building and recuperate the cost, but he is doing damage inside of Minigun's main right now, killing off all the production facilities of Minigun, and you are so right now. It is down to a full-on base race. We have Cruncher now sneaking the hidden Ninja Nexus over to the right side of the map to stay alive in this game. I kind of agree, man. He knows his buildings are about to all fall, and he needs to get another Nexus up.
And Minigun has quite a bit of money as well, and he still has that second Nexus producing quite a bit with some probes run over to the left-hand side so he can put up another Nexus of his own if he wants to as well.
Yeah.
And eventually these armies are going to have to fight. We're going to need to see some pylons. We're going to need to see some rebuilding, but these two armies are going to come to blows.
Yeah, it's going to come down to who has the bigger army at the end of the entire battle. And if we look at the units tab, we have Cruncher with one Colossus. That's a big difference.
I think
Two Immortals,
Minigun
11
picked
Stalkers.
up on the base on the right-hand side.
He did actually pick up on the base on the right side as he was doing a full tour de France around Zanaga Caverns. But I think Minigun's army may actually be a little bit smaller than Cruncher.
It is. Yeah, it is a little bit. So Minigun picking off a couple of units. Oh, go back to the engagement. That Colossus is down in HP a little bit, but it has recovered most of its shields. Now Cruncher is not supply blocked, but doesn't have any unit producing structures. So can he actually defend the rest of these structures? I don't know.
Well, actually, now he's just going to go ahead and play for defense on this single Nexus. I don't think he's going to dare move out at this point in the game, but if he takes that kind of mindset and approach to this game, then Minigun actually has an advantage because Minigun has two Nexuses, and he will be able to produce probes much faster. And also consider that he kept 12 probes alive in this game, whereas Cruncher only has 4.
Whoa, okay. That's actually a pretty big development. Forgetting that Minigun had Blink there for a second. Nice. Force field stripping 4 Stalkers.
Wow.
That's a very good win for Cruncher.
And a big development, as you said, Kevin. At this point now, Cruncher really does have the larger army.
Look at Minigun, though. He's still mining quite a bit.
But he doesn't have any structures to really make use of that mining.
But he will very soon. I mean, Minigun, Cruncher knows that his last couple of structures are sitting there relatively undefended. He's got to put up some pylons, otherwise he's done for. I don't know. This is getting kind of dicey.
And there's the pylon. That's a safety pylon right there. So if he does move out, which he is, and he loses his Nexus to some kind of a backstab attack, he will still have a pylon existing in his old main, which is just really smart play in general. But I do think he has a bigger army right here, and if he wanted to press, he could probably end this game. Now, the longer he takes, Minigun will be able to produce more units, but Minigun going to go ahead and drop the engagement here. The Colossus is going to fall, and now will Minigun pull back, or is he going to stick to this battle?
It looks like he is just going to go ahead and move into this battle.
Oh my god!
This is going to come down to Immortal versus Immortal, and Minigun's actually starting to take the fight. There's only but there are 2 mortals that are left.
Close, man. I don't know which way this is. I think Minigun is going to lose his units. He's got to pull back. Yeah. And has he been producing gateways? No, he has not.
But he has Blink, and now his gateways are actually starting to come up. So Cruncher doesn't have anything else, nor really the means to produce anything else. As soon as Minigun gets those 4 gateways down, he's actually going to be able to, and don't forget, he actually does have the probes as well, and the Immortals actually aren't going to be all that effective, and then they're going to get outrun by the probes.
He's going to get surrounded by probes, but he kills off one of the Stalkers with one of his Immortals. Brilliant play, but the probes kill off basically 50% of his army right there. Very nicely, well done by Minigun. It's this really, really close game, man.
And, alright, so here we go. Looks like Cruncher going to town on one of those Nexuses, but it doesn't matter anymore because in about 10 seconds, Minigun's actually going to be producing units once again.
Well, let's think about what kind of units he can actually make with the resources he's got and the probes he's got alive. Maybe 4 Stalkers, 4 Zealots. Could certainly get some more mining done, and he can add on a couple more units as well. But at the same time, his probes have been found by a single Stalker, and that's going to disrupt all mining. Cruncher can't even hope to get his own gateway up now.
Yeah, there's no way. He can't allocate the resources to it. He's losing too many probes. So he's going to run away for a second. It looks like an observer saw the base on the left-hand side, so Cruncher can't be too happy about that. Build into the fact that now we just had 4 more Zealots warp in for Minigun, and he's going to send those down and continually harass his opponent's base.
Yeah, now the 4 Zealots and the Stalker combined should be able to overpower a Sentry and an Immortal. So at this point, it looks like Cruncher is certainly going to be fighting a bit of an uphill battle. He does have his 1 gateway coming up right now, so he could get some units out pretty soon, but his Immortal is going to get surrounded by 4 Zealots. No, it will not. It will pull away, but pull away to what? To his own probes? GG.